Hello again, welcome to another Thought for the Week here from New Inn Congregational Church in Lancaster Road at the southern end of the village. I'm Gordon Cooke, I'm the church minister here. Well, last weekend was our Harvest Thanksgiving weekend and we had a wonderful weekend expressing our gratitude to God for providing for our needs through another year. The church was beautifully decorated with a wonderful display of products that folk had brought and which we've now been able to take to the local food bank so that they will do some good in areas of our community. One of the things that we always add to the harvest table as part of our display every year is a simple glass of water. And we do that because we recognise that one of the greatest material gifts that God gives this world is water. We take water for granted so much, don't we? Sometimes water makes the news. Even today, before I was recording, there was a feature on the news about how water companies have been fined because they've not produced water of a sufficient quality for us to be able to drink. Here, just down the road from the chapel, our local water authority are doing some work to improve that. And just 2 miles or so from the chapel here, we have a beautiful reservoir which supplies our needs for water through the mains, but also gives us a lovely place to go walking and have a coffee at Llandegford Reservoir. You might know it. Of course, in Bible times, to get a glass of water, drinking water like this, was a much bigger deal, wasn't it? No taps, no mains supply, no big reservoirs feeding lots of houses. Folk had to go to the well perhaps at the edge of the village to be able to draw some water. And the water there might, I'm sure, not have been of the quality of the water that we enjoy here in 21st century Britain. There's a wonderful story in one of the Gospels, in John's Gospel, about a conversation that took place at a well where two people had gone to get water to drink. The one person was the Lord Jesus Christ, God's Son. And it was in Samaria where Jesus was walking on a journey, and he stopped one lunchtime at a well where there was a Samaritan woman. The Samaritan woman didn't know who Jesus was, but Jesus certainly knew who the Samaritan woman was. And he engaged her in a conversation, a surprising conversation in many ways, because men and women didn't strike up conversations like that in those days. And Jews and Samaritans certainly didn't have conversations in that way. The woman was drawing water from the well, and Jesus asked her for a drink, much to that woman's surprise. But when she turned to speak to him, when she said, "How is it that you, a Jewish man, is asking me, a Samaritan woman, for a drink?" Jesus answered her in a rather surprising way. You could read it if you want to look it up on the reference on the YouTube page. But Jesus says this in John chapter 4. "If you knew the gift of God and who it is who says to you, 'Give me a drink,' you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water. Whoever drinks of this water will thirst again. But whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst. But the water that I shall give him will become in him a fountain of water, springing up into everlasting life." Water we need because it keeps us alive and it quenches our thirst. Jesus is talking there about spiritual water, about spiritual life, about spiritual satisfaction. Jesus was reminding that woman, who had quite a checkered past, that only he could give her spiritual life and satisfaction. And ever since the coming of the Lord Jesus, people have been coming to him for that living water. We'd love to share more about the living water with you. Why not come and join us one Sunday? We're here at 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock every Sunday. We'd love to speak to you, we'd love to share more of the message with you. God bless you. See you next week.